Alright, right here we have the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G smartphone, which comes in 4 awesome different colors. Now there is this awesome ice blue version, you can get it in awesome lilac, awesome lemon, and awesome navy. And today we will take a look at all the features this phone has to offer, but first up, let's start with the unboxing. So like with most Samsung Galaxy phones these days, there isn't really too much to unbox. Now the first thing that pops up is of course a smartphone. Then you will get a SIM card remover, some quick starting guides, and a USB Type-C cable. All bundled up in a small case with no extra charging brick. Alright, now up to the specs and the design. Now as I already said, you can get this phone in 4 different awesome colors, and if we take a look at the backside, we will see that we get a triple cam setup with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. Now in the middle of the polished Gorilla Glass back, you get the Samsung logo, which has the same color as the rest of the phone. You have an aluminum frame and a Gorilla Glass Victus Plus glass front. So this phone is overall very scratch resistant, but I would still cover it up with a case just in case. Oh, and by the way, you also don't get an extra case once you buy this phone. Now as for the weight, the A55 weighs in at 213 grams, which is fairly heavy for a smartphone with that size, and it is IP67 dust and water resistant. Now as for the display, we get a 6.6 inch Super AMOLED display with a 1080p by 2340 pixel resolution with 390 pixels per inch and a peak brightness of 1000 nits in the auto mode in sunny conditions. The great part is that we get a 120Hz display, which we can also set to standard, which is 60Hz, which doesn't consume as much of your battery life. This phone supports HDR10+, and in combination with your AMOLED display, you will get great contrast in your videos and movies. You have crispy colors and dark blacks. Now the small selfie camera on top really doesn't get in the way, and your black bezels all around the phone are evenly thin, and only the bottom one is a little bit thicker, but you rarely see the difference. Then this phone also has an always on display mode, which is not customizable and will only show you the time and the music that is playing. When it comes to the audio, we have a stereo speaker setup, and the A55 has good loudness and the quality is decent as well. Certainly good enough to listen to the news while you are cooking. Also in your sound quality and effect settings, you will find Dolby Atmos and Dolby Atmos for gaming. Now the normal one has 3 presets and an auto mode, plus there is an equalizer with a few presets as well that you can use, but I would just leave it as it is. But that's how it sounds like.
You will definitely not feel this watch during the night, not during your workouts, and even during the day while I was working on the computer.
So the Samsung Galaxy A55 runs on OneUI 6.1 based on Android 14, and I love that you don't have all of those little gaming and other apps pre-installed. It's very clean when you first get it. Of course you get all of the Samsung apps like Samsung Internet, Samsung Health, Samsung Find, Wearable, or the Samsung Shop, but besides that there is no useless rubbish on this phone. Now you can get this phone in 2 different sizes. Now there is this smaller 128 gig version, or you can also get the bigger and more expensive 256 gig version. Now if we take a look into the storage settings, we see that about 14 gigs are already used up by the system, but gladly we can actually extend the storage via an extra SD card, but that takes away your second SIM card slot. Now of course this phone also has a fingerprint sensor, which is underneath the display and not on the side button as we get with other Samsung models. Now this phone also has a face detection and both work just fine. Now as for some other features that you can expect, there are different motion and gesture features like double tap to turn off and on the screen, lift to wake, palm swipe to take a screenshot. There's a one-handed mode, multi-windows, and by double pressing your side button, you will either open up the camera, have access to your Samsung wallet, or it opens up any of your apps that you have on your smartphone. So really not that much more than on other Samsung models, and certainly no AI features like on the Samsung S24. That's something that you're not going to find on this phone right here. Next up, the performance and gaming. And you can say that the Exynos 1480 is doing a good job in your day-to-day use. You can swipe around or open up apps without a big delay, and when it comes to the gaming, you do get a game booster with a performance, standard, or battery saving mode. You can open up floating windows from over here, take screenshots, and other small things. Now as for the gaming experience, you can actually play games like Genshin Impact on the highest graphic settings without any big lags, but you have to know that this phone is getting pretty warm pretty fast like that. As for the battery life, the Galaxy A55 5G has a large 5000 mAh battery inside, which easily gets you through the day with about 7 to 8 hours of screen time. You can probably get more out of it if you're not shooting videos all day long or play games non-stop. There's also 25 watts charging, which is okay-ish, but it definitely takes a while until you're back to full. Unfortunately, there's no wireless and no reverse wireless charging. Now comes the camera test. Now, like I said, in the beginning we have a triple lens setup with a 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. There's a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel macro camera. The main camera can also shoot videos in 4K resolution, but only in 30 FPS. The selfie camera has a 32 megapixel camera, which can also shoot videos in 4K resolution with 30 FPS. When it comes to the pictures, I think they are not the best, but you can certainly live with the results. Now the picture quality is good enough for some vacation snapshots with a good amount of detail and contrast to it. As for the portrait shots, I would like to have a little bit more background blurriness, but I have to say that there is a slider to adjust that. I had it on 5 and it goes up to 8. The ultra wide and the macro camera aren't really the best. You lose a lot of details and colors when you take pictures with the ultra wide camera, and the macro camera is no different. I would not get this phone if I need a decent macro camera, but at least we get a few camera modes. Now there is a night and a portrait mode, a pro mode for photos and videos, food, hyperlapse, slow-mo, and a fun mode that is actually funny sometimes, like you can have a monkey sitting on your shoulder and getting all of those buggers out of your ears. Now I also shot a quick selfie video, and that's how it sounds and looks like. Alright, so that's how it looks when I'm recording with the selfie camera in 60 FPS with 1080p resolution. I do not like it if you have the 4K resolution, since 30 FPS is really not enough. But that's how it looks like, and right here I'm about to record for you guys. So let's get it on. And guys, there we have it. That's the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G smartphone. Now if you like that video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.